Hi everyone, and this is my chemistry. In previous video we discussed about the cooperative binding and Bohr effect of hemoglobin and myoglobin, and in this lecture we will learn about the poisoning effects of carbon monoxide and cyanide, as well as we also discussed about the genetic effects that are happening in the human body. Okay, the first we will see the carbon monoxide and cyanide poisoning. Okay, so when the hemoglobin binds this carbon monoxide and cyanide instead of dioxin, so what will happen to the victim? So hemoglobin, which contains 4 subunits. We know the structure of hemoglobin, which is made up of 4 subunits and the globin protein. And this hemoglobin picks up the dioxygen. As soon as it picks up the dioxygen from the lungs, it transfers to the myoglobin. Okay. So myoglobin takes the oxygen from the hemoglobin, which was stored in the muscle tissue. So finally this stored muscle oxygen is supplied for the cell respiration process, where the glucose is get converted into carbon dioxide and water and plus energy. So the released energy is used by the cells. Okay, and this is about the role of hemoglobin and myoglobin. Okay, in spite of oxygen binding with the hemoglobin, if hemoglobin picks the cyanide, okay, which leads to the cyanide poisoning. Okay, as we know it, cyanide is a highly poison ligand. So oxygen is a dioxin ligand, which is a pi acceptor ligand. Either the strong or weak pi acceptor ligands. Okay, as like pi acceptor ligands oxygen, some other pi acceptor ligands called as carbon monoxide, cyanide, PF3, NO. So these are and also very strong pi acceptor ligands than oxygen. So if the strong pi acceptor ligands are replaced oxygen by in hemoglobin, which leads to the extreme toxicity in the victim. So if the person is inhaled the cyanide or gets cyanide ion in the body, it suddenly binds the hemoglobin, which leads to the cyanide poison. So this cyanide binds the hemoglobin, which leads to the prevention of dioxin binding in the human body. So it leads to the extreme toxicity. And also this cyanide ion binds the Fe2 plus in hemoglobin irreversibly. So it was very strong in nature. When cyanide binds the Fe2 plus, the complex is very stable in nature. It cannot leave the cyanide Fe2 plus ion easily. Okay, and it also the cyanide ions interferes in cytochrome. That is, it also interferes in cytochrome. This is also one of the metalloporphyrin complex, where the Fe2 plus ion is the central atom. So this cyanide gives a bond with Fe2 plus, which reduces the activity of cytochrome. Otherwise, the cyanide ion paralyzes the activity of cytochrome, which leads to the cyanide poisoning in cytochrome, okay, in human body. So the cyanide poisoning leads to the death of the victim, immediate death of the victim. So this is about cyanide poisoning. And next we will see the carbon monoxide poisoning. Okay. If the person inhaled carbon monoxide instead of oxygen, so this carbon monoxide binds the hemoglobin very strongly compared to the oxygen. So this carbon monoxide, effectiveness of carbon monoxide is 200 times stronger than the oxygen. So it immediately binds the carbon monoxide, which leads to the carbon monoxide poisoning in the human body. Okay, so as like oxygen binded hemoglobin, which shows the cooperative effect and Bohr effect, as like this carbon monoxide also shows the same effect, such as cooperative effect and Bohr effect. So this carbon monoxide in the victim, which prevents the transport of dioxygen to the muscle tissue. Okay, and the hemoglobin binded carbon monoxide, the complex is not dissociated very easily. Not dissociated very easily. It bonded with hemoglobin very strongly. It cannot be distorted. So hence the color of this complex is bright red color compared to the normal hemoglobin. So as soon as the person inhales this carbon monoxide, which leads to the unconscious, beginningly it leads to the unconsciousness of the victim. So as soon as the poison get increases, it prevents the oxygen transport to overall to the body, which leads to the death of the victim. So sudden death of the victim. Okay. So sudden death, carbon monoxide poisoning. Okay. And this is about cyanide poisoning and carbon monoxide poisoning. So next we will see the genetic defects. So genetic defects in human body. First one is due to the formation of sickle cell red blood cells, which leads to the disorder called sickle cell anemia. Okay, and how it's formed. Okay, as we know it, hemoglobin consists of 4 subunits. The protein molecule consists of 4 subunits, as well as the globin protein, which has 2 alpha and 2 beta. Okay, so in this globin protein, the beta units, in normal hemoglobin, the beta units contains glutamic acid, which is the hydrophilic group. Hydrophilic acid, which is hydrophilic group, is replaced by valine group. So instead of glutamic acid, if the is replaced by the valine group, which is hydrophobic. Which leads to the mutation in the hemoglobin. Okay. So sickle cell anemia is a disease caused by the mutation of hemoglobin, which prevents the dioxin transport of the hemoglobin. So when the mutation happens in hemoglobin, the solubility of hemoglobin gets decreases, it suddenly prevents the dioxin transport. So during this glutamic acid is replaced by valine group, the conversion of R form to T state, that is the oxyform to deoxyform, HB gets polymerized and gets distorted shape. That is, the normal blood cells, the blood cells are in erythrocytes, RBC blood cells are disc shape and highly flexible. But in the sickle cell, that is the mutation HB hemoglobin contains the sickle shape of the blood cells, either sickle shape or crescent shape. That is a crescent, which just look like a crescent moons. Okay. So this sickle shape red blood cells are highly rich and sticky. So highly rigid and sticky in nature. Okay. So when the sickle cells are traveled to the blood vessels to the whole part of the body, it was very rich and sticky in the blood vessels. So the sickle cells are not completely transferred to the all over the body. So hence the demand of oxygen is happened. So this leads to the anemic disease called sickle cell anemia. Okay. And normally the blood cells are live up to 190 to 120 days. The sickle cell red blood cells are lives up to 10 to 20 days. Okay. And this sickle cell anemia, which was happening in the infants, this sickle cell anemia mainly comes from the parents to the infants. It's an inherited disease. Okay. So it was treated by using nitrous oxide. Okay. So this nitric oxide, if the person inhales the nitric oxide gas which helps to float the all sickle cells which are stuck in the blood vessels. So now the sickle cells are able to move all over the body of the victims, which supplies the oxygen to the muscle tissues, which reduces the sickle cell anemia disease. Okay. So this is about sickle cell anemia. We will see methemoglobin. Okay. Normally the human blood cells produce the 3% of methemoglobin in the normal blood cells. So this 3% of methemoglobin immediately converted into normal hemoglobin with the help of enzyme called methemoglobin reductase enzyme. Methemoglobin reductase enzyme. So this is the enzyme which is used to convert this methemoglobin to normal hemoglobin, which is found in the NADH enzyme. Okay, so it is the NADH dependent enzyme. Okay, and if this enzyme is present in the human body, which leads to the overproduction of methemoglobin. That is, if the above 70% percentage of methemoglobin is present in the human body, which leads to the disorder called methemoglobinemia. Hemoglobinemia disease. So this methemoglobinemia, which leads to the prevention of transfer of dioxin to the muscle tissues. Okay, so it limits the transfer of dioxin to the muscle tissues. That is simply want to say it gives the too little oxygen to the muscle tissues compared to the normal human hemoglobin. Okay, as we know it, hemoglobin has the 4 subunits. Okay, it contains 4 subunits. So hemoglobin was in the normal hemoglobin was in the Fe2 plus. The structure of hemoglobin is Fe2 plus, which was in the high spin state. Okay, so this Fe2 plus, which was in high spin state, which is the larger size of this Fe2 plus, which makes the molecule becomes domed shape. Yeah, that is the puckering and twisting of porphyrin plane is happening. Why? Because of the larger size of the Fe2 plus. So due to this larger size of the Fe2 plus, this Fe2 plus cannot fit into the cavity of the porphyrin plane. So which keeps away from this porphyrin plane, that is it lies away from the porphyrin plane, nearly about 40 pm in the normal hemoglobin. But in methemoglobin, hemoglobin was in the Fe3 plus state. Instead of Fe2 plus, the methemoglobin has Fe3 plus state. So the each 4 subunits, the one of the subunit was in the Fe3 plus state. Now this Fe3 plus state was small in size. Small size, so it can easily fit into the porphyrin plane. Okay, now the structure of this hemoglobin is normal compared to the Fe2 plus in the high spin state. So it easily fit into the cavity of the porphyrin plane. Okay, now it cannot be able to pick up the dioxin from the lungs compared to the other subunits. So one of the subunit was in the Fe3 plus state, so which was in the small size, so it can easily fit into the porphyrin plane, so which cannot take up the oxygen from the lungs. So other subunits are taking the dioxin from the lungs, but the methemoglobin does not allow the other subunits to give the oxygen to the muscle tissues. So it limits the production of dioxin to the muscle tissues, which leads to the methemoglobin anemia disease. Okay, and this methemoglobin anemia disease mainly it's an inherited disease. That is, it goes from parents to the infants. Okay, if you see the symptoms of this methemoglobin anemia, the blood of the color of the blood will be dark brown red color. Otherwise the chocolate color of the blood, and also it shows bluish color of the skin. So infants can find the bluish color of the skin, nails, eyes becomes bluish color. It's called blue baby syndrome. Okay. So if the above 70% exceeds the methemoglobin, which leads to the sudden death of the victim. Okay. So this can be avoided by the enzyme called with the help of methemoglobin reductase enzyme. So the Fe2 plus pick up the oxygen from the lungs, which binds the oxygen, and the electron from this oxygen goes to Fe and facilitates the reaction ferric peroxide formation. And this ferric peroxide formation is converted into iron into 2 plus 2, 3 plus. And suddenly this Fe3 plus gets converted by the enzyme called methemoglobin reductase. Okay. So about 3% of methemoglobin is produced. This is called methemoglobin. So it immediately converted to hemoglobin, which was in the 2 plus state. Okay. And if it is absent in the human body, methemoglobin reductase enzyme absent, which leads to the disease called methemoglobin anemia. Okay, because the overproduction of methemoglobin is done in the human blood cells, which prevents the transport of dioxin to the muscle tissues. Okay, and this leads to the genetic defects called methemoglobin anemia. And this is about sickle cell anemia and methemoglobin anemia. Okay, and thanks for listening my video. Okay, if you like my video, please like, comment and share my videos, and watch my video till the video gets end. Okay, and thanks for listening.